This is Pyramus. Who are you?
My name's Nancy Drew. Does somebody named Puck usually call you on this frequency?
This is Pyramus. Is this whoever it was before?
Yes, Nancy Drew. And I think I know the Shakespeare quote Puck used to rattle off when he wanted you to say that stupid saying.
This is Pyramus. Is this who I think it is again?
It's Nancy Drew. I'm pretty sure I know what that Shakespeare quote is.
Try me. Somebody named Puck used to. Apparently he found something better to do. Haven't talked to him in months.
Well, that's because he passed away not too long ago.
Oh, well, that's a good excuse, I guess. How'd you know he called me Pyramus?
I'm a friend of his. I found your name and radio frequency in his journal.
So why are you talking to me? You're not going to have me write down something stupid then make me repeat it on cue like he did, are you?
Puck did that?
Whenever he rattled off this Shakespeare quote, I was supposed to rattle off this stupid saying he gave me.
Did Puck, ever ask you to tell him something whenever he read a certain passage from Shakespeare?
Whenever he rattled off this Shakespeare quote, I was supposed to rattle off this stupid saying he gave me. How did you know about that?
What stupid saying was that?
No can do. I promised Puck I'd only repeat it if I heard the quote.
I was just wondering, did Puck, ever ask you to tell him something in response to a certain passage from Shakespeare?
Yeah, whenever he rattled off this stupid Shakespeare quote, I was supposed to rattle off this stupid saying he had me write down. How did you know about that?
Because he had other people do that too. Just out of curiosity, what was the stupid saying you were supposed to rattle off?
Can't tell you. Gotta hear the Shakespeare first. Puck made me promise. I've been talking to him over the radio for a couple of years. He told me he was just this lonely old rich guy who lived by himself and had a bunch of weird hobbies. In a pig's eye.
You didn't believe him?
Rich guys don't own ham radio sets. They own radio stations. In their spare time, they drive fast cars and sail around the world and hobnob with other rich guys. They don't shoot the breeze with working stiffs like me.
But
look, if it made the guy happy to tell me he was rich, fine. No skin off my nose. But he didn't fool me. No siree. Not for a second. Anyways, the missus is calling, which means I gotta skedaddle. Over and out. Darned if I know.
But if I come up with a quote, there's no reason why you can't tell me the stupid saying, right?
Well, come to think of it, he never said the quote had to come from him. So, yeah, I guess I could tell you.
Long story. But if I were to rattle off the quote, there's no reason why you can't tell me the stupid saying, right?
Well, come to think of it, he never said the quote had to come from him. So, yeah, I guess I could tell you. How'd you know?
Long story. What did he tell you to say in response?
Wait a minute. I had to write it down. Here, you're gonna love this. A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
I told you it was stupid.
I really appreciate your help.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of car did Puck drive, do you know?
I don't think he had a car.
And he tried to tell me he was rich. Over and out. Think so? Well, let's hear it. That wasn't it. And no stupid quote means no stupid saying. And that means over and out.
I'll never forget the night it all began, that dark, stormy, fateful night when I decided the time had come to rid the world of the creature. But it would take money to do that, and to get money, I needed to confront my arch-enemy, Nick, who had recently become able to transform himself fittingly into a giant warthog. When his forest hideaway came into view, I dismounted and approached the door on foot so I could take him by surprise. My fear that he would hear me proved groundless, for a terrible storm began to rage, washing away the sound of my footsteps. I peered through the rain-streaked window beside his front door and could see him sitting in front of the fire. He had returned to human form, but the malicious smile on his face suggested that he was recalling his recent porcine exploits. Seeing that the door was unlocked, I hurled it open and marched across the room toward him. "Step away from that bottle of warthog potion," I commanded, "and give me the 20 gold coins you stole from my poor servant."
I'm not going to give you a thing, save, perhaps, a taste of my sword.
And with that, he drew his sword. In an instant, I had drawn mine, and so commenced the fiercest sword fight the world had ever known. The storm raging outside paled in comparison to our battle. To my surprise, Nick's experiences as a lower life form seemed to have improved his skill as a swordsman. I feinted, I parried, and yet victory eluded me. And soon I began to feel my strength ebbing from me. I was tiring rapidly. Summoning every ounce of what little energy remained in my body, I lunged at him one last desperate time.
Ouch! Why, you've wounded me.
I had managed to wound him on his right arm, just above the elbow.
Curse you!
His words, punctuated as they were by an untimely clap of thunder, sent a shiver down my spine. "Save your breath," I intoned, "and give me those gold coins."
Here, take your precious coins.
He tossed the bag of coins onto a chair, but as I reached for them, he reached for his bottle of potion, and in a matter of seconds, my night had gone from bad to horrible.
I hear you loud and clear. Who's this?
My name's Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew? What kind of handle's that?
It's not a handle. It's my real name.
Just get set up?
Set up?
Your radio. You just set up your radio?
Actually, it's someone else's, or it used to be.
Ah, so you don't know what you're doing. Well, a word to the wise, sweetheart. Anybody asks who you are, either use call letters or make up a name. No need to go broadcasting your real moniker all over the country. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go get me something to eat. Over and out.
This is Southern Wind. Who's this?
My name's this is,
Kinda dopey sounding, if you ask me, but I've heard worse, I suppose. Tell me about yourself.
well, I'm from a mid-sized town in the Midwest.
You are, huh? Me, I'm a Southerner, through and through. Yes, sir, born and raised in Fort Smith, Arkansas. You got brothers and sisters?
No, as a matter of fact,
That's too bad. Me, I had an older brother and sister, and a younger brother and sister. There I was, right smack dab in the middle. Did I get picked on by the older ones? You bet I did. Why, my older brother, Simon was his name. I say was because he unfortunately passed on 3 years ago. Influenza. Had a real bad outbreak round these parts back then, don't you know? Anywho,
I think I've heard enough.
old Simon, he'd drop all sorts of things into my crib on a regular basis when I was but a babe. Turtles, salamanders, crickets, toads. Like to watch me put 'em in my mouth. That is, when I could catch 'em. Which, fortunately for me, I guess, wasn't that often. Crickets are fast, see? So are toads. And salamanders, what they lack in speed, they make up for in slime. Real hard to get a grip on. Especially when your fingers are only yay big. Now, turtles I could catch, but they'd pull their heads inside, see? Their tails, too. And their claws may have been tiny, but they was sharp, so I knew better than to mess with their feet. Most I ever got in my mouth was the shell. and then I'd just kinda gum it. Ma caught me once gnawing on a turtle in my crib, and I can still remember the licking she gave old Simon. I got a real good memory, see? Probably because Ma used to make me read to my younger brother and sister, while she was at her weekly sewing bee. Always working on some quilt or another, Ma was. Used all these scraps of material, see? In fact, whenever we'd wear out a shirt or something, especially my younger brother Buell, since he got all the hand-me-downs, anyway, she'd cut up all our old shirts, and the next thing we knew, there they'd be, all these little squares in a brand-new quilt. My older sister got all the quilts when Ma passed on, which was about 8 years ago. Consumption, they said, although I still think it was pneumonia from the cold she caught while taking care of my younger sister's baby niece. Anyway, I talked Prissy, that's what we call our older sister, short for Priscilla, see. I talked Prissy into giving me one of Ma's quilts, and now when I go to sleep under it, it's like I'm wearing all the clothes from my childhood again. Brings back all sorts of memories, yes sir, like the time my younger sister Flo put the dog in Ma's brand new wash tub. The dog, whose name was Bo, or was it Boo? No, it was Buck. Buck was shedding at the time, see, shedding bad, so from then on all our clothes had dog hair on 'em, no matter how many times Ma'd scrub 'em, or how stiff a wind was blowing when she hung 'em out to dry.
The year, 1930. The place, the road to Titusville, where we find Nancy Drew behind the wheel of her blue roadster, pondering this question. Why did Emily Crandall, a girl whom Nancy knows only through their mutual friend Helen Corning, ask Nancy to drive all the way out to the Lilac Inn to see her? All the way out to the Lilac Inn to see her. Does it have something to do with the fact that Emily's mother died barely a month earlier, leaving Emily to run the restaurant with only her guardian to help her? And more important, why, when she called, did Emily sound so desperate? The spunky teenager turns off the main road, blissfully unaware that Emily isn't all that awaits her at the end of the driveway. No, Nancy Drew is about to get her first taste of the mystery, intrigue, and adventure that are to become her destiny.
No sweat. You're welcome.
Hi, I have a telegram from Miss Ross.
My name's Rebecca, and I'm only 10, but I'll deliver it to her for you, I promise. I won't let you down or double-cross you or anything like that.
Well, okay. Thank you, Rebecca.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Hi, Rebecca. I've got another telegram from Miss Ross.
Please let me take it to her. The first one made her so happy, and there's nothing I like better than making people happy. May I, please?
Sure, thanks. Thank you, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
Hi, Rebecca. I'm supposed to deliver this to Mrs. Perkins.
You better let me deliver it. Mrs. Perkins can be very grumpy, even when my curls are at their curliest and my dimples are at their dimpliest, and I'd much rather she yell at me than you.
Well, okay. Thank you, Rebecca.
No, thank you. I do so like making people happy.
Rebecca, I have another telegram from Mrs. Perkins.
You'd better let me deliver that one, too. She hollered at me when I delivered the first one, mostly because I accidentally stepped on her ingrown toenail. But I'd feel just terrible if she yelled at you, too.
Well, okay.
You're really nice.
Hi, Rebecca. I have a telegram from Mr. Cobb.
Oh, please let me take it to him. When he's happy, he does this wonderful little jig, and his eyes crinkle up so much they practically disappear from his face. May I take it to him?
Sure.
Doing nice things for people is my life.
Hi, Rebecca. It looks like Mr. Cobb got another telegram.
May I take it to him, please? He hurt his knee doing his little jig when I gave him the last one, and now he can't do his chores, and Miss Ross says she'll probably have to fire him. So this could be just the boost his spirits need. Let me deliver it, please.
Here you go. Hi there.
Hi, welcome to Sunnybrook Farm, whoever you are.
Thank you. See you later.
Okay.
I'd, tip you, but as you can see, my hands are filthy.
What are you doing? Hello, I've got a telegram for Seymour.
Just leave it on the desk there. Sorry, still repotting plants.
That's okay. Bye. Hello, I've got another telegram for Seymour.
Just put it down there. My hands are still really filthy.
That's okay. Bye. Hello, I've got a telegram here for Audrey.
I'll see that she gets it. Just leave it on the desk. Sorry, can't tip ya. Filthy hands.
Bye. Hello, I've got another telegram for Audrey.
Just put it down there.
Hello.
Welcome to Blenheim Nursery. What do you need?
Nothing. I'm just looking around. Bye.
Bye. I'm trying to doll up some of my plants before this guy named Mr. Martin comes in. He's a big cheese at some oil company, and I'm hoping he... Ow!
Did that plant just bite you?
It did kind of feel that way.
I think I'll be going now. Bye.
I'm Thisbe, but only Puck calls me that. Who's this?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm afraid I have some bad news about Puck.
This is Thisbe. Are you the young lady I talked to before?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I know the cue now.
This is Thisbe.
It's Nancy Drew again. I know what your cue is.
And it is? Oh dear, they closed the play he was starring in, didn't they? That's why I haven't heard from him. He's too far down in the dumps. Oh, I was afraid it was something like that.
Actually, you haven't heard from him because he passed away several months ago.
Oh my, that's worse, isn't it? And after all that rigmarole he went through, making sure I knew my line and understood my cue?
Your cue?
Yes, you see, Puck, or whatever his real name is, or was, Puck wanted to share his love of acting with me. So he gave me a line to say, a very curious line I might add, and told me to repeat it only after I heard my cue. A passage written by Mr. William Shakespeare.
So he gave you a line to say and told you to repeat it only after you heard your cue, which was a passage from Shakespeare.
Why, that's exactly what he did. He did the same thing with you, didn't he? How he enjoyed spreading his love of acting. He called himself the Johnny Appleseed of theater.
What was the line he told you to say?
Oh, I can't tell you that. Not unless you cue me with the correct passage from Shakespeare. Puck would have wanted it that way.
So if I cue you with a passage, you'll respond with the line he gave you to say?
Immediately. I know it by heart, you see.
Here goes. Yes, well, could you tell me the line he gave you to say?
I'd be delighted to. Frankly, I'm not sure.
But if I figure out what the passage is and read it to you, you'll tell me the line he gave you?
Immediately. I know the line by heart, you see.
Thisbe, are you there?
I'm waiting for my cue.
But I don't know what that is.
Puck was adamant that I not say my line unless and until I hear my cue. Sorry. No. It's what Puck called me. My real name is dull as dishwater, just like my life. Mildred. Puck was such a breath of fresh air.
His real name was...
I don't want to know. He told me that acting was his life, and that he'd gotten rich and famous doing it. No matter who he was to the rest of the world, that's what he was to me, and that's how I want to remember him.
When I think I know what your cue from Shakespeare is, I'll contact you again, okay?
Suit yourself. Over and out. And now, as Puck was fond of saying, I bid you adieu. Over and out. The authorities are alert for bad water, so do not go this way.
The authorities are alert for bad water, so do not go this way.
That's what I was to say, although my delivery was much better when Puck was coaching me. That was not my cue. Sorry. Over and out. I'm listening.
Something I can do for you?
Well, my name's Nancy Drew, and my father said
Say no
that...
more. You're here to pick up some papers. Why, hello, Nancy. Change your mind about delivering those telegrams for me? Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did. Do you have any telegrams for me to deliver yet?
I sure do.
Do you have any telegrams for me to deliver yet?
Not yet, but keep checking in, okay?
Okay.
Did you deliver that telegram?
Not yet.
Something I can do for you?
Nope, I'm just looking around.
Not much to see here, but suit yourself. They're in that envelope.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say, is that your roadster out there?
Yes, it is. Did I park somewhere I shouldn't have?
No, it's just that my regular driver never showed up today, so I've got no way to deliver all these telegrams. How would you like to earn some extra cash?
You mean you want me to deliver them for you?
You've got a car, you're trustworthy, or at least your father thinks you are, so what do you say? I'll pay you 25 cents each time you complete a delivery. And you might even get some tips. Great, you're hired. Here, deliver this to Seymour out at Blenheim Nursery. Take this out to Napoleon at Vash's Dairy. Take this to Counselor Alice out at Camp Avondale. Go to the library and deliver this to J.J. Pickle. Deliver this to Mr. Jones at Vash's Dairy. Take this to Counselor Annie out at Camp Avondale. This one goes to Miss Ross at Sunnybrook Farm. This one is for Madame Pirot out at Lowood. Deliver this to Dr. Bob out at the observatory. Take this to Betsy Howard. She's at the Deer Mountain Resort. Deliver this to Miss Temple at Lowood Academy. Deliver this to Jurgis out at Krollmeister Nails. This one goes to Dr. Ackerman out at the Deer Mountain Resort. This one is for Henry Suzalo over at the library. This one's for Old Man Johnson out at his farm. Take this to Counselor Jason over at Camp Avondale. Go to the railroad station and deliver this to Willie Joe. This goes to Miss Scatcher out at the Lowood Academy. Take this to Phil Connor out at Krollmeister Nails. Here's another one for somebody out at Krollmeister Nails. This one is for Ona. This one here is for Helen C. White. She's at the library. Head to the gas station and deliver this to Pete Zimmerman, otherwise known as Zippy. This one goes to Molly out at Vash's Dairy. Deliver this to Larson Waddell. He owns the jewelry store.
Yes, I know.
Here's one for Audrey out at Blenheim Nursery. This goes to Mrs. Sheldon at her Twin Elms mansion. Take this to Margaret Judson at the Deer Mountain Resort. Deliver this to Mrs. O'Shea out at the orphanage. This one goes to Counselor Ed out at Camp Avondale. This one's for Mrs. Perkins at Sunnybrook Farms. Deliver this to Professor Randall out at the observatory. This goes to Mr. Brocklehurst out at Lowood Academy. Go down to the railroad station and deliver this to Lizzie Joe. Head over to Krollmeister Nails and deliver this to Dee Dee. Deliver this to Muriel over at Vash's Dairy. This needs to get to Mr. Cobb of Sunnybrook Farms. This one goes to Counselor Jack over at Avondale Camp. Go to the observatory and deliver this to Woody. Take this to Mrs. Brownell at the Deer Mountain Resort. Deliver this to Katie Joe at the railroad station. Come back when you're done and I'll pay you and give you another telegram to deliver. All right, but if you change your mind, just come on in. Never hurts to have a little extra spending money, you know.
I'll keep that in mind. Bye.
All right, but if you start running low on money, you know what you can do about it.
Thank you. Bye.
Good for you. Here's your money. And here's your next telegram. Keep up the good work. Can't pay you until you deliver it, you know.
I know. See you later.
Let's see. But I'm afraid I don't have any more telegrams for you to deliver right now. Check back with me later, okay?
Will do. Bye. Hi, I'm supposed to deliver this telegram to Willie Joe. Is that you?
No, I'm Willie Joe's Uncle John. I'll see that she gets it, though.
I've got another telegram for Willie Joe.
She and her sisters are up there cleaning the water tank. I'll see that she gets it.
Thanks a lot, Uncle John. Bye.
Last I heard, they were fussing at each other out by the tracks.
Bye now. Hi, Uncle John. This telegram must be for Willie Joe's sister, Lizzie Joe.
Right you are. I'll take it to her.
Hi, Uncle John. I've got another telegram for Lizzie Joe.
I'd better take that. Sounds to me like she and her sisters are trying to drown each other up there.
Do they know how to swim?
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Katie Joe's out back trying to referee some spat between Willie Joe and Lizzie Joe. They're arguing over some boy named,
Hi, Uncle John. I've got a telegram here for Katie Joe.
You can leave it with me. May be a while until she reads it. According to Willie Joe and Lizzie Joe, Katie Joe took off with Tommy Bill.
Hi, Uncle John. Here's another telegram for Katie Joe. Hi, everyone.
Hey there.
Hello.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.
So long.
She?
She, with a capital S.
Well, bye. Bobby Joe?
Tommy Bill.
Ah, bye. Bet they're not pleased about that.
Good thing Katie Joe's a fast runner. That's all I could say.
Bye, Uncle John.